When you work in tech at Cox, you get to do meaningful work every day. You get to be the biker who codes as fast as he rides, crafting advanced tech solutions that transform car buying. Or a guitarist who develops harmonious apps and websites, connecting people to people and businesses, all in real time. A savvy soccer mom running solution sets as passionately as she runs gameplays. Be the super secret keeper, designing cybersecurity systems to protect private data and websites. A planet protector, expanding EV battery life and inventing more ways to build a better future for all. When you work in tech at Cox, you get to do career-defining work that solves the greatest problems of our time. Join us and connect to work that improves lives, including yours. Learn more about our family of businesses at cox.career/tech.
Media.
The best late-night conservative talk show in America, SackHeads Radio. And there are no people better on the air to give you the best in conservative talk than SackHeads Shaun and SackHead Clint. And we're working on the immigration papers for a certain other guy who happens to work here, too. For those who are tuning in around the world to the best in late-night conservative talk, SackHeads Radio.
Talk News. Talk News.
Radio.
Talk News. Talk News.
Radio.
Sack.
The best late-night conservative talk show in America. In America.
In this web was a large, I'm pretty sure it was the biggest spider I've ever seen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SackHeads Radio Show live on the SHR Media Network. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
I can do that too.
It is.
I can knock my mic around if you want, just for effect.
As soon as I open it, right? As soon as I open the channel, just go ahead and start beating that microphone around. That's awesome.
Oh, I can hear myself in the headphones, so it must be
very well.
It must be working.
How's that? That's way better.
I can hear BZ just fine, but I can't hear you.
What about now?
Now I can. What?
Hey, it is April 4th, 2018. Before we go any further and we get into the craziness that is this show, we want to take a moment of silence to remember Dr. Martin Luther King and his legacy and all the amazing things that he did and essentially sacrificed his life for. So please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. So, moving right along. You want to get the heavy first? We didn't talk about this part. Do you want to get to the heavy first, Clint?
Yeah, we have an announcement.
Yeah. We do have an announcement that says.
Let's do it.
You have an announcement.
I do,
and then we have an announcement.
Yeah, and
So you do your announcement, and then we'll do an announcement.
We'll pick it up.
We'll pick it up.
That ought to be fun.
You get the sour. We'll take the sweet.
Story of my life.
Bad cop, good cops.
Man.
You get to be the bad cop.
So, God, if I had a...
If I had a baseball bat.
Yes, please. Yes, please. So this didn't come across easily, and this isn't a decision I've taken lightly, and it's not something I'm really all that happy about yet. But it's something that I have to do, and I'm going to have to step away from the show here at SackHeads, at least temporarily, or we'll see what the future holds. This is a decision that I've had to make for personal reasons. This is a decision that I did not come lightly, and this is a decision it was a very difficult and hard decision to make. And, once things fell into place, and, we all know how life goes sometimes. And once that happened, it was unfortunately the only decision I could make. Why is this so weird? Maybe this is why. Yeah, okay. All right, there we go. All right, hold on. I'm fixing it. All right, now it's even.
It's God telling you.
I know.
Terrible decision to make.
Stop. I don't need that at all right now. Trust me.
Like I can like I can help what he says to you through headphones.
But yeah, so I'm going to stay with the network. I'll be running things behind the scenes still as I have been. A couple things to get out of the way. This will not affect any other show on this network outside of SackHeads. This will not change our operation. This will not change our social media or anything like that. All of that will be the same. And it'll hopefully actually get better. Maybe if I can do some more work behind as a network, then maybe the network itself can get some energy and strength to move forward, which is what our goal is still with the network itself. So that's not going to change. I will still be here. I will still be very much part of the ownership group here. The other shows will not change. All the shows that are on today and yesterday and last week.
Well, not today.
Well, no, but all the shows. Well, outside
all
of
of
us. I said today. This is tonight.
Okay, good point.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Will not change. And I will still be around. I'm not going to disappear off the face of the planet. But I just will not be able to host for a while anyhow. I first want to thank Clint very much so for going down this road with me 5 years ago now. Longer?
Yeah.
Yeah. We started off as a little 15-minute podcast with one little head. It wasn't even a microphone. It was a headset that we shared the mic for.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Just hold on one second. You mean like headphones
With the boom
and
mic
a little
off
boom,
it, and we would hand it back and forth.
Yes.
and you literally would take them off.
Hey there. Ritual here to give a big shout out to you for making it through the hectic holiday season. The magic of those family moments, that was you. And now there's new milestones to prep for in 2025. This new year, check clean, quality pregnancy nutrient support off your to-do list with Ritual. We've done the research to create science-backed pregnancy support like our prenatal multivitamin, natal choline, and fertility support, all designed to be taken alongside each other. But don't just take our word for it. They're also third-party tested for microbes and heavy metals and Clean Label Project certified. So whether you're trying, thinking about trying, or already there, we don't have to tell you that prioritizing yourself can be the hardest part. That's why we're helping you get started today with 30% off a 3-month supply for a limited time at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Big shout out to you for making it through the hectic holiday season. This new year, get clean, quality, pregnancy nutrient support off your to-do list, including Ritual's best-selling Essential Prenatal Multivitamin, designed with 12 traceable key ingredients to support a healthy pregnancy. With big changes coming up, take the small steps now and start today with 30% off a 3-month supply at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
We weren't even.
No, we didn't even wear them. We
them.
turned them upside down and stuck the
just,
microphone up.
And just held the microphone.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any photos? I'd love to see a
no,
photo
I
of
wish
that
we
or any
did.
video.
I wish we did. I wish we did. We don't.
Do you have any audio of that? Do you have any audio?
Yeah, so
of
I'm
your
sure we do.
very
it's,
first
It's
show?
out there. It's
Yeah.
out there. I don't have the computer that we recorded on. Got
Wouldn't
destroyed.
it be a kick in the ass to listen to your very first show?
No.
It would be scary.
No. Not at all. Not even a little bit.
It would be a little frightening.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Yeah,
I would
you know what?
love to.
I know a couple places that it actually uploaded to and still exists, and if I can find it, I'll send you the link. It was not what you think it is.
It was not.
That was one of the things that, as Clint and I developed the show and it went further, and we really were trying to figure out who we were. We'd never broadcasted before. We've told this story a million times about
Wait, is
how
that where
we
we
got
throw
into
women?
it.
About broadcasting? Because that's something that was actually, I think that was a drunk sport in an Irish pub we were in one night, actually, if I remember right.
Well, that's the. Did that happen in the pub just right down the street from here?
Yeah. What were we doing last night? We were broadcasting.
I guess that's better than. I guess that's better than midget tossing.
Well,
Did you Velcro?
We
up?
might have been. That's what we called micro broadcasting, and that's a totally
Yes.
different
Totally
Olympic
whole
sport.
different thing. Broadcasting is an Olympic sport. Leave it to us to turn this moment into jackassery.
Well, what else is new?
It's the nature of the
What
beast.
else is new? But when we started to go down this road, we didn't know why or what we wanted out of it. We just knew that there's a lot of shows out there that weren't hitting the button, so to speak. There were things out there that should have been talked about. You know, it was back before Fox News was Fox. I mean, it was Fox News, but they weren't.
They were smaller.
They
They were younger,
weren't
smaller.
Yeah, they weren't attacking like they do now. And I'm not saying we influenced any of that. It was just saying when we were.
No, it's just a different time. It was
Yeah.
a different time in media.
When we started to develop, we definitely we were looking for that niche, and we were looking for kind of that pit bull approach to politics and conservatism. And there was a lot of great conservative voices out there, and a lot of them, said good things, but we think they lacked punch.
They lacked fucking hilarity and personality.
And they lacked comedy. And that was a hard part for us. We're very comedic people. If you've ever listened to the show for a second, you know that. We if we don't make ourselves laugh, and a lot of times we don't care about the listeners.
Oh, I don't give. Yeah. No, we care about our listeners. But I don't give a shit if you laugh or not. I think this stuff's funny.
Well, you guys, the thing that's the glue to the two of you is that you were both extremely reverent about whatever topic you talked about. You gave serious consideration to every topic and treated it with the respect.
We tried.
Are you saying we couldn't have thoughtful commentary? Because I'm pretty sure I could. We've had thoughtful commentary at least once on this show.
Yes. Yeah, I don't remember the day, but you tried.
Anyhow, so we jumped in, and we jumped in doing a once a week random show. There was no date and time. It was when Clint and I could find time together. We broadcasted out of my old office.
Third story window.
We
throw them right out.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
And we were doing mostly Saturday nights.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
And Shaun goes to the window. And he's got a 24-year-old.
And
he's lining up.
Here's the pitch.
Look, it's a hooker down below. Anybody have any rocks?
Look at the arc on that one. That's a beautiful arc.
He's killing himself. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at?
Stop saying broadcasting.
So when we first started the show, jeez Louise, I can't believe that. I just had this image of Clint out the window. Anyhow, we just knew we wanted something different, and we had enough people tell us that we had a good back and forth, and we had good chemistry, and people were telling us that we should record it, so we tried it. We went on a blog talk for the first time. We had no idea what we were doing. That's the amazing part, and a lot of people don't know. I know a lot of you guys see me like do all this stuff. You can see it when you watch on YouTube with the board and all that. I had no idea. Clint had no idea.
Clint still has no idea.
At the time, our buddy Sacco was helping us out.
I agree with that.
Yeah, Clint still has no clue. And he didn't know anything about broadcasting. He knew about sound mixing, and it was like a real early time, and we completely fucking technology.
Yep, that's it.
We completely just didn't know what we were doing, so we would listen to other blog talk shows, and that's where we met our good friend Ken McClinton, and we developed that friendship, and it was somebody else, but he also kind of helped us learn broadcast, and Dan Butcher, who's going to call in at 8:30 for a little bit, and because he was such a major part of SHR Media and SackHeads, and my friend and our friend. But we met Dan Butcher through there, and we just started to go. John Grant at the 405 was the first time that we had ever done a guest spot, and he couldn't believe that neither one of us. That was one of the greatest compliments.
What happened with John Grant? Because I happen to know who he is.
So
what did you guys do for him?
So we were kind of in the same spot where he was kind of starting the 405. We were kind of starting out. We made friends on Twitter, I think it was, and started talking. And just, John's a great guy. John's a lovely guy. And he asked us one night because he was listening to the show, and he's like, "Hey, do you guys want to come on and be a guest?" And at the time, he was doing his Wednesday night show just before ours. So we said, "Yeah, we'll go in studio for that." And we had the old studio, and
the closet.
The closet, yeah, that's when we were in the closet, and it almost literally was a closet. And so we did our first guest spot. And John, I remember the biggest compliment that I think we'd ever gotten, and maybe still today, was, "I can't believe you guys have never broadcasted before." And he wouldn't believe us. That was the funniest part.
Yeah, he literally did not.
On the air, off the air, he wouldn't believe us.
Because he asked us on the air, "So how long have you guys been doing this for?" And we said, what time is it?
A month.
Yeah, and he was blown away. Yeah, he couldn't believe it.
And it definitely... that was a compliment, but it also kind of told us, like, hey, you know what, maybe there is a little something here that we have going on. And we, there was three of us in this little closet space that we were renting, and we met Tammy J through John. And
Hey there. Ritual here to give a big shout out to you for making it through the hectic holiday season. The magic of those family moments, that was you. And now there's new milestones to prep for in 2025. This new year, check clean, quality, pregnancy nutrient support off your to-do list with Ritual. We've done the research to create science-backed pregnancy support like our prenatal multivitamin, natal choline, and fertility support, all designed to be taken alongside each other. But don't just take our word for it. They're also third-party tested for microbes and heavy metals and Clean Label Project certified. So whether you're trying, thinking about trying, or already there, we don't have to tell you that prioritizing yourself can be the hardest part. That's why we're helping you get started today with 30% off a 3-month supply for a limited time at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Started, our friendship with Tammy, who we absolutely love and adore, and it just started going from there. And then we went down to the warehouse. We had an office in a warehouse, and we were there was that the silo? That was the silo.
Yeah.
And we were there for a while. And we just started to develop more and more. And we started, and that's when we had the idea for a network of like, hey, there's a lot of great shows out here. We met Jersey Joe at that time. Some
now,
other
all
people
through Blog Talk?
No, at that time we'd gone to Spreaker, but social media really is where it was for that, was social media. But you have all these other people who I see posting shows like we were doing at the beginning, and had some good shows and a lot of good things to say. And I kept saying, Clint and I kept saying, we got to find a way to get these two together, like, or this show, like, why can't they broadcast with us or whatever? And so that's how we kind of developed the SHR network idea of like, hey, we don't want to, and I tell everyone this all the time, we didn't do that for the money. We did that because there's so many good people and voices that we wanted to have together, and that was our goal from the beginning.
We're like a co-op.
Yeah, we are like a co-op, and it has been that way because we have this great outlet. Look, we're lucky. We have the Spreaker account. We have our good, pretty decent social media presence. We have the website that Dan Butcher's helped us with for years. We've had all these good things. We should be utilizing this. Let other people who maybe can't afford or have the resources to get in. That's when Jersey Joe started with us and Ken started with us. We had a little news outlet for a little while that, ended up migrating to England, but that's okay.
Is that where he went?
Yeah, no, it's a long story.
Okay, all right.
But I know of at least two people that are laughing hysterically right now. And then we started then we moved here, and we really started to take off. And shows have come and go, but we've made some amazing friends. We went to Freedom Fest for the first time. We went to the first road trip we ever took as a station, as a show. We went down to the California State Convention.
Where we met our good friend Cammie Foote.
Yeah, a really great friend of the show is Cammie. And just, we started to develop from there. And then, all these other people who have come and gone and helped us here and there and stuck around for a little bit and then said, hey, I got other things going on. Dave Milner was another social media find, the exceptional, the unpleasant blind guy.
The exceptionally unpleasant
I'm Dave Milner. Hello, Shaun. Dave Milner. Come on, that's a damn good impression of Dave Milner.
No, that's right. That's right, because when he called me 2 nights ago at 12:30 a.m. and I just happened to be up. I'll spill. He calls me at 12:30 and he says, "Hello, Mark. It's Dave Milner." And and I at the time.
Does he live in Hawaii?
Mark?
Was it like
Dave Milner?
At the time, I didn't tell him, but all right, I'm on the toilet. Okay, I'm pinching off loaves at 12:30, and how does this motherfucker know that I'm in the damn toilet? And he calls me, and he can't hear
out of a dead sleep,
and he can't hear the reverb in the background. Okay, how does that happen?
Out of a dead sleep, he was just like, "Bing, I think it's time to call Mark." Hello, Mark. Dave Milner. So, but we met.
I didn't even tell him.
So we met Dave, and we met some other great people, and then after that we started Freedom Fest, and the amazing people at Freedom Fest that we've met and worked with at Freedom Fest. And Freedom Fest has been like a second home to us. They've treated us so amazingly through the years, and we just really started to develop. And then the furry little fat guy over there.
I've been to 2 now. How many did you guys
4.
go to before?
We've been to 4
2
total.
more. Okay,
we've been to 4
right.
total.
Yep.
So, and then we met the furry little fat guy over there and brought him into the fold. And, we had some.
I went to Freedom Fest and I didn't even have a damn show.
I know. The first time.
You guys invited me to That's another thing that I
the first time you were just our bitch.
Well, okay, I can
Broadcasting.
equivocate or I can tell the truth.
Tell
Yes,
the truth.
I was. Yes, I was, because in the 2016, that was the first one, 2016, I said, hey, you guys are flying. Yeah. How about if I put all your shit in my Kraut car and drive over there? And, of course, the immediate reaction from you was, hell yeah. We don't have to carry that crap on the plane anymore.
Here's a guy we barely know. Yeah, you can take 5K of our equipment and drive it through the desert. We'll meet you there.
Yeah. Hang on. What could go wrong?
We've done this before. It's a suck drive. Have fun.
What could possibly happen?
And of course, I mean, everyone who knows that BZ.
And I remember you on the plane, you didn't ask, man, I hope BZ's okay driving by himself. You're like, fuck, I hope the equipment's good to go.
I seriously hope we got that shit.
I can see that.
Highway patrol, yeah? Oh, that was a crash. Hey, there's a case in the back. And I just need to know if it's intact. I'll come by and swing by and you know what? I wouldn't even know who to call for the driver. You guys can figure that out, you're cops.
Yeah.
But
hey, are the mics okay? Did they make it?
By the way, speaking of the Nevada Highway Patrol, I got stopped by the nicest Nevada Highway Patrol guy.
Really?
When I tell you, so I'll be the first to admit, and I admitted to him, I was doing 51 and a 45. But it was through a construction that I did.
But it was through a red light. So,
but it was,
so nothing to see.
And I was
here.
on 2 wheels. But he must have just been targeting me because my truck is black. What had happened was that
truck is black.
the speed dropped.
Did he shoot it?
Yeah. Couldn't get the wheels up.
Because you know how cops are in things black.
We'll go into that later. But no, it dropped to a residential zone. I didn't see the speed drop. I was going under what I thought the speed limit was. My own fault. I wasn't paying attention. So he stopped me, pulled me over. I had the 2 kids in the car. By the way, total freak out from the kids. Oh my God, are you in trouble? You're going to jail. I can't believe you broke the law. Right? Not once was it like, Dad, are you sure you did nothing wrong? Like, oh, no. I was completely done at that point. My kids, they didn't even want to bail me out. It was the funniest thing in the world. My son was like, oh.
And they were telling the cop, he needs to go to jail.
Yeah. Don't look under the seat.
That reminds me of the Chris Rock video. He got weed. He got weed.
How not to get your ass kicked by the police. Anyhow, and I know I just went on a random tangent, but guy comes to the window, nicest guy in the world.
Now this is NHP?
Yeah, Nevada Highway Patrol. He goes, hey, you know why I stopped you? And I was like, I'm guessing I was going over. I said, because I don't know. I said, I was doing 51. He's like, yeah, it dropped to 45 about a mile back. I said, you know what? 2 kids in the car? I honestly think I missed it. He's like, no problem. You get your stuff, give him my stuff. So we're talking. He's like, where you going? I said, I'm bringing the 7-year-old snowboarding for the first time. And he went to the back window and talked to my son about snowboarding for like 5 minutes.
That's awesome.
And just this guy was aces, and I'm not going to give out his name. But I got it because I thanked him very much. But the guy was aces, and then we came back. He goes, "Not writing you. You've been cool. Like everything's squared away. This, that, and the other thing. Do me a favor. Make sure he wears a helmet." He's like, "My kid was about 10, wasn't wearing a helmet, took a nasty spill, got concussion, the whole 9 years. He's fine, but he had a concussion." And then it was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And he was like, "Hey, when you go into the next town, make sure you're under because the locals will get you worse than I will."
Thanks for the heads up, Mr.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, appreciate that one.
But to get back to me stepping away, so we've got to this great place, and the network's still growing, still expanding. We have some great partners and friends who broadcast with us, and it's not going anywhere. But it's been a hell of a trip. Both of you gentlemen, I can't thank enough. And like I said, I'm not saying that this is it, but it's we're going to suspend it for now.
Yeah, look, and it's not. I want to make it very clear. SHR Media is not going anywhere. Shaun is still very, very, very much involved. A large part of SHR Media. The network is not going anywhere. This is literally just.
This is a me thing.
Yeah, literally just the SackHeads show as it's been presented It is going to be on hiatus for a little while, and it's not. We don't foresee it being a forever thing, for sure. But
as a network, as a friendship, as a cohesive unit, as all of our broadcasters, nothing changes.
No, nothing changes. This is literally. However, on an unrelated note,
totally unrelated
at all. BZ and I would like to introduce a new show.
I'm not even dead.
Hey, are you freaking talking? BZ, mute his fucking mic.
And we're already.
We present to you Against Tyranny. Sackheads.
Against
Little
tyranny.
Sackheads. Against Tyranny. Almost like a Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Type
or like a Monty Python's.
Brought to you by Sackheads.
Right. Brought to you by Sackheads Against Tyranny. So if you put Sackheads Against Tyranny, you kind of make.
I did in the chat room.
Yeah. Okay. So you kind of make a SHAT shat. But Against Tyranny is the name of the show.
Here's the best part. It wasn't pushing what the show is going to be about. It was making sure everybody listening knows that it's an acronym for SHAT.
Yes.
That's my favorite
Well, and
part
then-
about that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's first you choose the acronym, then figure out, let's see, what can work in this? I know.
Oh yeah. No,
So
we
here's
went chit chat.
So here's what happened, and this is a story. And because we're closing one chapter, but we're opening another, and so it's BZ was saying, okay, SackHeads something. We have to IT. Think of something good IT because we have to make like shit would be a great acronym, and.
Yeah, because
this is how great business decisions are made,
work.
right?
And the show's going to be that after
Yes.
I leave anyway. So
Yeah, well, and look, let's be honest here, right? Boys never grow up, and this is something that
Guilty.
This is something that
Guilty.
that our boys would have come up with right now. Shat. Now I can make fit. So it started with BZ shit, and then it went to, you know what is more sackheadish, SHR-ish, is shat, because it's just a little tweak on that. So BZ kind of really got the ball rolling with that. And then it kind of morphed to shat, and we went through a couple things, and then it kind of clicked. Against Tyranny. And
I love it.
That's how the name was born. That's something that BZ and I will be bringing to you on Wednesday nights.
And yeah, that's right. That's the important thing is
This time
keep
slot
your
every
calendar
Wednesday.
marked
Yes.
for Wednesdays because Clint and I will be here on Wednesdays. So it's not like SackHeads has vacated. Well, SackHeads has vacated. The show is gone for a while.
Yeah.
But the slot is not vacated.
No.
And 2/3 of the SackHeads are going to be here just doing different stuff because I have to be honest. I can't replicate your riffs, and I'm not going to attempt to be you guys. Only you guys can do you guys, and I can't even get close to that. So that's why it can't be SackHeads, because SackHeads is you guys. I'm a hanger-on, and I'm very glad of all the great things and all the opportunities you've afforded me. Having said that, I'm at least sufficiently smart to realize I can't do the shtick you do, nor would I even try to attempt it, because that's what's crafted your audience over the years is that's what people listen to, is the interplay. They're here for the interplay between you guys. I'm an addendum. I realize that, and I'm glad to be here.
No longer BZ.
As an
Or an
addendum.
alivedom,
Or an alivedom.
whichever one.
Yeah.
But you guys are why people listen to SackHeads.
Did you say you guys are white people listen to SackHeads?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think that we cross racial boundaries.
So that'll be every week right here.
You guys are SackHeads, white people listen.
8
Wait,
p.m.
what?
Pacific, 11 on the East Coast.
SHWPL?
And that the name of the show is going to be At Tyranny.
Against
Tyranny.
Jesus Christ. Are you
Already.
kidding me? You're already
Clint,
trying to freaking
already.
sink us,
Already?
right?
It's-
Hey, I want ratings to be garbage.
Hey,
Come
yeah,
on.
I just want you to know what it's like without me, baby.
We're still an SHR
Against
family.
Tyranny. Sorry. And social media websites, all that stuff will be built up. But I do want to thank you two gentlemen from the bottom of my heart. Clint,
Dude, I want to thank you. I mean, you were. We wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here without you either. I mean, dude, it started over freaking cups of Starbucks every day while we were talking shit about people.
Yeah.
Literally, and about the world and everything else. And so this was born. This was a we project. Always has been, and it always will be. And I don't like I don't want to make it seem like we're saying goodbye because we're not.
we'll just say see you later on.
Yeah, well, I mean, not even that. I mean, Shaun is still going to. You are still going to be a major part of SHR Media. You're still going to be doing all the stuff. You just won't be in studio on Wednesdays.
Right.
So it's 2 hours out of your day difference, and it sucks that we're not going to have that interaction because I miss that, and that our interactions are going to be over the phone, and nobody else gets to fucking hear that shit.
Right.
But
Maybe we'll record it occasionally.
yeah, but look,
and there'll be specials. There'll be
Of course
other
there will be.
Election. Election. I plan on being here for
you'll
election
be
nights.
calling. You'll be calling in.
I'll be calling in all that stuff.
Yep.
And the other, and I know we're against a break right now, but I definitely want to thank the listeners. Look, we went from 50 on our first download to we've been listened to hundreds of thousands of times throughout the entire world, and to not address that and say that it's been a cool honor and a really cool privilege to be heard all over the world.
Oh, yeah. Have we been listened to in North Korea?
Yes.
Have we?
I can't confirm it because there's no tracking for North Korea because they block it. But he hates us. He hates us.
Of course, he hates us. He listens.
He hates.
He
me.
listens to everything that's said about him.
So before we go to break, I do want to just thank the listeners. You guys have been amazing. Chat room, our friends in chat who are here every single week and support us no matter what. Thank you, and keep sticking in chat. Make sure you keep showing up on Wednesdays against tyranny. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. It'll be different, but it'll be cool. And
speaking of chat, we got Ken in chat, Mike's in chat, Melanie's in chat, Dan's in chat, Jeff is in chat, and guest 4184.
Hi, guest 4184. 4184.
God, it's been years.
4183 was a dickhead. So
yeah, 4184 we're proud
So
of.
we're glad to see 4184.
We're so proud.
Here.
4184.
We're
I miss 4184.
What can you do without?
I'm glad they're here. I'm glad to see them here.
And honestly, thank you everyone who showed up.
I need to talk to 4184. I haven't talked to 4184 in a while.
Yeah, no, that's true. But we love you guys very, very much, and please stick with the network. And like I said, I'm still going to be here, so and I'll be available. Look, we're going to take a break. We come back. We get some subjects we got to get into. We get some talk, but Dan Butcher, the amazing El Duce, old number 2. Wanted to come on, talk with us a little bit, talk about me leaving, and some of the things that can go with too. And what?
Jeff Dunnett says you're the second best show in radio.
Against tyranny being number 1. It's amazing how he knows that already. Like, we haven't even just this little snippet right here. It's amazing that he knows. Thank you for that. That's a great vote of confidence.
Yep.
And look forward to
wait, before we go, I got to tell you, this is great.
Dave Milner.
We have guest. Okay. We have guest 5916. Thank God. Weren't we railing the crap out of 5915?
Yeah, no, that was
5915 was a piece of crap.
5915 was a D-bag.
Weren't they the one that tried to turn us to communists?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
yes.
what I thought.
So 5916, great
welcome.
to see you.
Welcome.
And it's a privilege.
Yep.
All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. Dan Butcher will join us and more right here on the SackHeads Radio Show live on the SHR Media Network.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Shaun from the SackHeads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the SackHeads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch River Common Sense Show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Power brokers use corrupt politicians, deceptive Islam, and lies from establishment media to turn the once shining city on a hill into the city of the blind. What do the elites fear? One man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me at SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Spreaker, iTunes, and YouTube for a different kind of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Hello,
I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reverb Common Sense, and you're listening to SHRmedia.com.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
I'm oddly nervous tonight.
That guy surprises you every
time. And I am oddly nervous tonight, and I apologize.
Yeah, knock it off.
I know.
Bring your A game.
Yeah, well, like there's such thing. Welcome back to the SackHeads Radio Show for April the 4th, 2018. The second bit, if you will.
I'm Sackhead Clint.
Yes.
This just in. Guest 666.
666
is in the chat room.
I've read something about 666 in a book called the Bible or something. Get rid of them.
And I was going to say, I'm not saying I made a deal.
By the way, where'd you get the new Porsche?
It's not that important. Huh. Folks, on the phone with us now.
Why does it smell like sulfur?
I don't know, but I'm out of here, bitches. On the phone with us right now is the amazing, just one of the best guys that you can have as a friend, and one of the best guys in the news business, El Duce, the second best man in the news business, and a guy who has been on with Sackheads and SHR more times than just about anyone else, and has been such a great longtime friend. Of course, I'm speaking of Dan Butcher. Dan Butcher. Danny, thank you for joining us this evening.
Hey, Shaun.
Yes.
It is great for you. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on one last time to bring you the latest headlines of the day. I'm just very privileged to be able to do this. So let's get straight to the headlines.
Okay.
The top headlines of the day are, number one, squirrel who lost balls in trap gets new prosthetic wheels. The next one is man who dressed up as a White House Easter Bunny usually serves with dignity. And of course, this one is the second most read headline of the day. The annual Penis Festival in Japan is more than just about giant slongs. And then, of course, the top headline of the day is, hopefully we don't need to tell you that condom snorting is a bad idea. And with that, I would like to give you your 24-hour UK weather forecast. This evening and tonight, heavy showers, rain, and hail snow will recede tonight and will be slow to clear the southeast. Rain clouds and frost will develop for many with patchy ice and crumb spots. Watery showers may continue in the northwest, too. On Thursday, after the start, there will be plenty of sunshine and light wind. A few further watery showers will persist in northern Scotland, though. Back to you, Shaun.
Just remember, you get a tan from standing in the English rain.
Wow. I'd like to thank, first of all, the boys across the pond for that. That really... for not suing.
And of all the people to have a penis fest,
yeah,
Japan. What?
There are a bunch of dicks over there.
Oh, yeah. Well, who knows? I mean, with radiation.
Kushida!
That's not a penis. That's a third leg.
Finally, there's a contest I can win. So, Danny, thank you. I cannot thank you enough for what you just gave me. I will treasure this forever. I don't
can't believe I made it through that with a straight.
You almost lost it. You almost lost it when you
close.
got to the English weather.
It was close.
And I know why, and it should have been. But I do have a whole bunch of people IMing me asking who won the schlong contest. Do you have the answer to that?
Some guy named Shorty.
Sure. It's always a guy named Shorty.
It's the guy named Tripod.
Yeah,
A human tripod.
If he can lean forward without leaning on anything, he wins. Danny, God. Thank you. Seriously, thank you for being here. Thank you for that amazing news report. It had been so long.
Folks, Google Jonah Falcon.
No, don't. I don't know what you're doing to people, but don't.
Go ahead and do it, folks. Jonah Falcon, see what you get. Good luck.
I know for me, for me personally, and for the network, and Dan has been an amazing influence and support. Dan has really helped us out with a lot of technology stuff. Dan has helped us craft our show through the years by giving. I mean, the guys.
Well, you're still going to be in contact with him, right?
Yeah.
You're sounding like you're freaking dying.
No,
Knock it off already.
But I just want to give accolades where they're due. And you know, Danny was definitely one of those guys who. I mean, he's since the printing press, he's been in the news. So, I mean, the guy really knows what's going on. And
no, that's not true. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, aren't your initials on the Ten Commandments?
Yeah. His middle name is
I
Gutenberg.
I was Moses' communication director.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
I was gonna say.
Let's put it this way: Dan's initials DB are in the Ark of the Covenant.
Yes,
I'm going to try this, and you know what? This is probably ridiculous that I'm doing this, but I just answered a Skype call, and I don't know if it's going to work, and I don't even know who's on it.
Well, let's do it.
Oh gosh.
Oh no, don't do it.
Hello. Nothing.
God.
God, is that you? Thank you for calling. Please call back again. We're going to put you on hold. Look at rude. Look at my hairline. You know God has a sense of humor.
Jeff says that was him calling.
Okay. Hold on.
Wow, you're a jerk, Shaun.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing.
Yeah, you need to treat Jeff better than
seriously.
that.
What is wrong with you?
I'm sad. Are you sad, Clint? That was sad that he treated Jeff like that. Jeff's he's one of our SHR guys.
Yes.
I hate both of you right now. I really do hate both of you right now.
And now the truth comes out while you're leaving. See, we were said we wouldn't go down this road, Shaun.
So, I without going into details, Danny and I.
It's like we're getting another Darren. This is ridiculous.
Hold on, another Darren. Going to be replaced. Jeff, I have the phone answered. I'm hoping it works. I think I hear you in the background with a little bit of echo, but go ahead. Welcome to the show, Jeff. And maybe not. But I'll tell you right now, one of the most difficult times that I have been through with as SHR, Danny really, really had to live through it as well, and he knows what I'm talking about. And when I tell you that there were hours upon hours upon hours of just phone calls and texts and, oh my God, really, is this happening right now? And Clint sitting in the corner laughing because his phone number was not made public. And it was, I cannot tell you how many 5 a.m. phone calls Dan Butcher and I have had to try to hash things out with a third party.
Yeah, but I bet it wasn't 12:30 and your ass was on the toilet.
Well, I'm not going to say that there wasn't times that happened either.
No, let me tell you a story about one time. I got one of these literally 5 o'clock in the morning phone calls, and my wife answered that phone.
Oh Lord!
And I think there were certain threats made, and I think that might have been the thing that saved Shaun and I from all of this misery we were going through was when Mrs. Butcher.
Yeah, and it was misery. And it was the weirdest set of circumstances.
Oh, it was.
It was so odd. And then what really, I think, hammered things home as the beginning of the end was an interaction with Clint and Mrs. Butcher and that person, where I think after those two kind of occurrences happened within a few weeks of each other, if I remember right, that's when like it went maximum crazy for a short period of time, and then
oh gosh, yeah.
and then I had to put the boots to that and destroy it right away. But we also, I mean, Danny, you, Ken, and I went down and we were in Texas to cover the state convention a couple years ago.
Yes.
We've done so much back and forth and being on each other's shows. And for me personally, you've taught me a lot about the business behind the scenes, especially, which I'm going to end up utilizing more in the future. And you've really, like I said, you've been just great, man. And I can't say thank you enough. Like I said, I'm not saying goodbye to everybody. I'm just saying that for right now, I just want to give credit where credit's due, and to all the great people, and namely you, Danny, for just being a really good friend to me personally and to the network and the show.
Have a lot of fun. You know, I think a lot of people know that if you've listened to SackHeads over the years, and you've listened to my show over the years, you know, Shaun and I go back and forth. We like to bust each other's chops. We're sending each other's texts and doing other things, trying to mess each other up. It's absolutely priceless when I'll text Shaun in the middle of a show, and you just see the expression on his face on Facebook Live or YouTube. And you look over, and then you look over at the bed at Clint and BZ, and they're just looking at Shaun about the time, because they're just thinking, oh, shit, Dan just texted him again.
Well, and I will tell you...
We're so kind of fucking nonsense. But in all seriousness, this is what's happened over the years, is that, you know, we've become, you know, obviously, you know, Shaun and I, and then I haven't gotten to know Clint as well. I'm getting to know BZ now. I'm on BZ's show every other day sometimes. But in all seriousness, BZ and I have a great time when I'm on his show. But what's happened is we've all become friends.
Yeah.
And it's even gone further than that. We've become family over the years. And a lot of folks don't know, you know, a lot of the stuff that happens off of the air. You know, Shaun and I talk to each other probably several times a week, just saying, "Hey, what's going on? How you doing?" What that?
Yeah.
You know, Shaun was one of the people there. And it's no big secret that, you know, over the last couple of years, I've been dealing with some health stuff. And Shaun has been at the top of the list. He's been there, been a solid rock for me. He's been there checking and everything. And then, of course, you know, with Shaun, the same thing. We've become, and then we've become family. We've become brothers. And this is something I value very greatly, and will continue to do so. And I tell you what, I am looking forward to listening to BZ and Clint on Wednesdays. I think that's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And what a name for a show! Oh my gosh! If that's not an SHR Media show, what is? Right off the bat, man.
I'm before we go to break, I'm trying to answer the phone calls from. I know Jeff is 516.
I think the second one calling in is Jeff. He keeps trying
but
to get in, but I don't know. Can Skype take?
I don't have
at the same time.
Well, I'm not on with Skype with Danny, so that's where the problem is lying. So I'm not ignoring you, Jeff, and whoever else is on hold. And I actually think I know who it is that's on hold. So here's what I'm going to do. Jeff, at 9 o'clock, I'll call you, if that's okay, after the break. And we'll bring you in. And then at 9:15, the other person on hold, who I know is probably in the Washington, D.C. area, I will call you and bring you on for 15 minutes so before the last break, if that's okay. So both you fine gentlemen, just give me a minute and I will reach out to you.
I just sent that message to Jeff, by the way, that you're going to call him.
Yeah, it's just going to be easier for me that way. But I want to talk about, first of all, Against Tyranny is going to be great. And I can tell you right now that it'll probably be far more intellectual without me in the room.
Oh, please.
And gosh.
And I know that for, no, I mean, like, there are a couple of...
That's not true. You are not the freaking funny one.
They're going to be...
This show is going to be fucking hilarious.
It's going to be just a couple nerds just sitting around talking about books nobody's ever heard of. It's just like an old wives club. No, it's going to be awesome. But
what do you have against old wives? First you're broadcasting, now old wives like it's a negative thing.
Hey,
and then he wants to hurt them. He wants to club them.
For all you old wives out there, once again, the final time he's going to be here for a while, the blatant bigot frickin' strikes. Yeah, thank you for that, Sean.
Hey,
thank you for reminding everybody just what an a-hole you are.
I am a total
and how much
a-hole.
you hate everybody.
I don't even know why that's an issue.
Even broads.
So I do want to bring up one of my favorite things that Danny did to me for the longest time in the world. And he did it just before, especially when we went to video. Danny would have this amazing way. When he did his intro tonight, he did all these bizarre and off-the-wall news stories, right? Danny, most people don't know it, it's 7:59 and 45 seconds. Just as we're about to go on the air, Danny would send me all of these crazy stories to my Facebook Messenger. And they would just light up my phone. And he'd, as soon as I like did the intro and we got out of the way, he'd text me, and even if I didn't talk about it, the giggling usually gave it away. He'd text me, "Got ya," or "aha," or something to that effect. And you must have done that for a year straight. And it was the funniest damn thing. And then it was me looking forward to like how he could outdo the week before, because he can find some batshit crazy stories like a champ. And let me tell you, some of them were absolutely... There was one of them that had to do with the mating rituals of like a tortoise and how there was like a 150-year study, but it read almost like a porn novel for turtles. Like, it was the most bizarrely written story. And I was like, are they trying to get people aroused or educated? Because this is just worded odd. And that was one of those stories that always stuck out to me. And that's why when I say he's the second best newsman in the business, because he can find that shit. And he can nail that shit. And of course, Dan's got an amazingly beautiful family, and I've been fortunate enough to meet Mrs. Butcher, and just amazing people. And one of the best things that Danny did for me, and when it was just Clint and I prior to BZ, if there was a scheduling conflict or an illness or whatever it was, and Clint couldn't make a show one week, Danny, without a doubt, used to jump in all the time, last minute, unprepared, 2 hours. There were a few times that I called him on the air without telling him I was about to call him on the air. And just kind of like, hey, guess what? You're co-hosting tonight. And like a trooper, and at the time, most people don't know too, is Danny was really sick and dealing with a lot of things, and he'd hold on for me. And one night you almost fell asleep in the last 15 minutes because you'd been up since like 2 o'clock in the morning for something else. And really held on. And I can remember like just like, how the hell did we do 2 hours? How did we get through 2 damn hours? And it was just amazing. And then Clint would come back the next week and be like, did you miss me? And I'd be like, you son of a bitch. What? I was throwing rocks at hookers. What? You did a lot. You had 2 hours. It's easy. I mean, you asshole, you know it's not easy to do 2 hours by yourself. And he'd just sit in the corner and snicker, and then he'd be like, who bailed you out? I'm like, Danny. He's like, of course he did. It was just because he knew I wasn't doing it by myself.
I'm still back at turtle porn.
Oh, yeah.
Slow but intense.
Dude, that was one of the strangest stories I've ever read in my life. It was a news article. It was a legit news article in some British newspaper where they were talking about like saving a species of tortoise in like Madagascar, some bizarre place. But as you read through it, they were getting so graphically involved into the actual mating portion of it that it was almost creepy that this was written by a journalist and not like, I don't know, like some pen name for a porn novel. Like,
and the journalist that wrote that, like, the original draft, those pages were sticky.
And he was laughing his ass off. He was laughing it. Oh.
Yeah, was it creepy like Anderson Cooper's interview of Stormy Daniels? Was it that creepy?
No, nothing's
that was pretty fucking creepy.
I don't think anything's that creepy. Yeah, that was. You want to talk about?
That was weird.
You want to talk about a forced interview?
Creepy.
It was forced. It was very, very, very scripted, and it was still.
It was like reading a letter to Penthouse.
But it was still non-cohesive as far as trying to prove the point they were trying to. That's the best part.
I don't even know what point they were trying to prove.
Right. They scripted it. They coached. Everything was set up. They were supposed to nail Trump to a wall.
Look, and Donald Trump was a friggin' multi-billionaire. And if he nailed a porn star 20 years ago,
$130K wasn't doing it.
I don't give a shit. Like, good. Who cares?
Well, and
if he's president of the United States, different story.
I went right to the $130K. I'm like, look, this guy's a multi-billionaire. If he was trying to keep her quiet, she would live in Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah,
with more millions.
Look, if Obama nailed a porn star 20 years ago, I wouldn't care either.
Yeah, when Valerie Jarrett was doing porn.
Right.
That's
what I was talking about.
Wait, what?
Wait, huh?
Iran? What?
Hey guys, listen to this. You have to remember that Bill Clinton paid off one of his mistresses to the tune of over $300,000. Donald Trump allegedly paid Stormy Daniels,
like $120,
a little over $100,000. So what does that tell you? Who's the better negotiator?
Yeah. That's true. The answer is Paula Jones was the better negotiator.
Yes, Paula Jones. She was way better than
Stormy Daniels. How do you figure this out? Paula Jones gets paid whatever the hell it was, $1 million. Juanita Broderick gets raped and gets nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
How does that work?
It comes down to publicist. Sadly.
How does that
Because
work?
once your story's not listened to, it's about how you can get it out there. And unfortunately, her story took a long time to really come out and surface.
Well, the other thing with Juanita Broderick too is she stayed quiet for many years because she was so scared for her life.
Yeah,
I mean the Clintons put the fear of somebody was going to come to her door and do her in.
Yeah.
So she was literally scared for her life. So for many years, she remained silent, did not share her story, just because she was scared somebody was going to kill her.
Well,
and so that has a lot to do with what happened with Juanita Broderick.
Yeah, not like that hasn't happened before.
I was going to say, when you have a family like the Clintons, where, 40-something people have died in bizarre ways that was somehow personally related to them, I don't think that's caution you want to throw into the wind. You know what I mean? I think,
Well, the steps where Hillary Clinton tripped, they got jackhammered up in India.
Right.
They're gone now.
Right, the bathtub thrown away.
Hell yeah.
And all because they broke her wrist.
Yep.
You know, it's those steps had it coming, though.
They did.
They've been living on the edge for thousands of years. Yeah, I don't even have it queued up.
Oh, damn.
I know I suck right now.
God, if I only had a producer. I say that on my show all the time. If I only had a producer.
Yeah, that's me. Jackass. I'm sitting right here. I just fucked it up.
What?
Hey, Danny, we're about to push break, and then Jeff and I really think that Ken I'm going to bring on after the break. But listen, thanks a lot, man, for everything. And obviously we're still pushing forward as the network itself, and we'll figure SackHeads out. But I do want to thank you and your amazing family for all the support that you've given us as a network, as a show, as friends through the years, and it means the world to us in general, specifically the team sitting inside this room right now.
Hey, you bet, man. It is always a pleasure. And you know what? This is not just so you know, this is not a permanent goodbye from Shaun, because hopefully in the near future you're going to be back on the air with everyone, and we look forward to that day, my friend.
Well, and if nothing else, I at least have to leave them presents in the studio, so when they show up at night, they can remember me.
Exactly.
But I'll work on that too. I'll work.
Does that mean you're going to shit on the carpet?
Hey, you know what? I forget the comedian said, but there's nothing more intriguing than a mystery shit on the carpet. It was David Tell. David Tell.
Hey, BZ, I just want to let you know to expect that phone call about 12:30 tonight when you're on the crapper.
Hello.
How did you know my timing? Damn it, get out of my head. There's only room enough in here for one of us.
Hello, Mark.
If you're not anything, you're regular, so hey.
Hello, Mark.
Luckily,
Dave
I
Milner.
don't think Dave is listening right
I'm the
now.
unpleasant blind guy. I do that well.
What
Way
would you
too
guys think if all of a sudden that happened again tonight?
You know what? I would think that.
And if it did, would I tell you?
Yes, you would.
Yeah, you would.
Yes, you would.
Because you're a weird old bastard.
Yeah.
Hey, we're up
You'd
against...
probably freaking call us right afterwards and be like, "Hey, you'll never guess what happened."
You can't. Wait until you get a load of this.
We're up against a break. Dan Butcher, sir, thank you for
Thank
everything.
you, Danny.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Dan.
Hey, you bet, guys.
We'll be
You
back.
bet.
We'll be
Meanwhile,
back.
Sean and Clint are each on the shitter too, going, "Oh, what are you talking about, BZ?"
What do you mean this is a three-way conference?
Call.
We'll be back after this.
Yeah, I'm faxing Washington. Hang on.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network. Featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American maggots won't, BZ is fundamentally changing America one diaper at a time. Just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, where the speech is free, but the drinks are not. The Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night, commencing at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, where pushback is a requisite art form in and of itself. Let your ossicles be truly liberated when you listen to the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, only on SHR Media Network. No ferrets were harmed in the making of this ad.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through SHRmedia.com, HighPlainsTalkRadio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on BlogTalkRadio.com. There's
no surrender ever,
because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch River Common Sense Show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. SackHeads Shaun, SackHeads Clint, and SackHeads BZ. The SackHeads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on SHRmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk, the SackHeads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Go ahead, I'll say it. Some of the best A-roll is going to be like, what are you talking about? The last one. Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Good point. Exactly right. Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and I'm with Sackhead Shaun, Sackhead BZ. No communists allowed on the SHR Media Network. Damn straight, mister. Back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome back to the SackHeads Radio Show live on the SHR Media Network. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, the 4th of April, 2018. On the phone with us right now, Editor-in-Chief of The Lid, host of The Lid Radio Talk Show, Jeff Donetz. Jeff, how the hell are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, living the dream, brother.
That's what I say. Listen, I originally called because it was your last show for a while,
Mhm.
and I wanted to, congratulate you and wish you all the best and all that kind of stuff. And I realized I'm pissed.
Okay.
You never had me on your show.
That's
I
not
had
true.
to
We're here
call
right
in
now.
to your last show.
Yes.
To get on, yeah, sure, but I had to call in.
Well,
I've
it's-
been on BZ's show. BZ was on my show today.
I know.
Because I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
And I'd like to make
Wait,
a
you're
disclaimer.
Jewish?
I'd like to make a disclaimer. Against Tyranny absolutely disavows any knowledge of any of this. We are not affiliated in any way with SackHeads Shaun, other than SackHeads kind of being against Tyranny also. And we have a zero tolerance here for the kind of blatant bigotry that
I'm
he
really
is
glad
displaying
you
right
got
now.
that out immediately.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
Sean,
Yes.
I'm not only on the media committee of the Worldwide Jewish Conspiracy, okay, but I'm on the banking committee. I can turn off your cash card whenever I want. One phone call, man.
Hey, you know what? You may be doing me a favor at that point, because it's better than having it declined. You know what I'm saying? At least if it's off, it's off.
But I guess I owe you a couple because, like, my first 6 shows, there was no sound.
What?
Yeah, we had to work through some things, and we did. Luckily, we absolutely did.
Luckily, we have sound.
Okay,
But, so that's the reason why you have to come back eventually, because you've never had me on the show.
Well, you never had me on yours either.
Well, I've asked you, you said no.
Is it because I'm bald?
Yeah, well, that's it. Because mine isn't bald; it's a solar panel for a sex machine. But I've been on Ken's show, and that's because he's 20% Jewish. You know that.
Yeah, I do. I do know that.
Ken
And it shows.
is my brother from a darker mother.
Yeah.
Okay. That's Ken Clinton. And BZ, do you know why BZ's on my show?
Well,
His brain is as thick as mine.
yeah.
And we spend an hour trying to outthink each other.
What?
Is that correct, Mr. Z?
No, I defer to you. In all things, I defer to you.
Oh gosh, don't do that.
Wow.
He's already on the banking committee. I mean, it's the.
Well, why do you think I defer to him? He's got all my usernames and passwords.
This is.
Well, no, that's actually good if he defers to me, because, like, any other time of the weekday, I don't get deferred to. I'm married.
hang on, I just got a text message. How'd I get $1 million in my account? This is weird. BZ, did you just get that alert on your phone?
No, I wish.
Check your Against Tyranny bank account.
I wish, too. Well, listen.
Yes, sir.
I really, seriously, I just wanted to wish you the best. It's been so wonderful. You've been so supportive of me, and I really mean that, because I screwed up the technology part so many times.
Fucking technology.
But, and I got to tell you something. I promise you that guy from Nigeria is going to send you that money once he gets the $5,000.
And I'm saving it up, and I'm getting ready to send it out next week. So anytime now, I will be a millionaire, and you're all coming with me.
Great.
That's right, Jeff.
Hey, Sean,
He's going to take you out to the finest chicken dinner money can buy.
it better be kosher, though.
Oh.
Oh, by the way, if anybody's having some stomach problems, I am actually selling a kosher for Passover fiber.
Oh, no.
You all know matzah's a little binding. And it's called Let My People Go.
Jesus.
Okay. You know what?
He's going to make a lot of money on that. He's going to monetize the crap out of that, okay?
I can't believe what a shitty show this has turned into for the last one for a little while. I mean, come on. Jeff, sir.
Hey, listen, though.
Yes.
I do wish you the best.
Thank you,
wish
sir.
your family the best.
Thank you,
because that's
sir.
what comes most importantly. And BZ,
Sir?
don't tell him that little secret I told you during today's show.
No, I won't. It's safe with me.
Jeff, sir, every Wednesday we'll still be right here on the SHR Media Network. And, of course, The Lid. You have to check it out, find it, Google it, read it. It's an amazing. I don't want to dare call it a newspaper and insult it. It is an amazing website.
Lidblog.com,
of course. And
when I send you the podcast of the show every Wednesday, I'm going to call you up on Thursday and give you a text.
Perfect. Because if there's one thing I need these days, Jeff, is another test. So I appreciate that.
And, man, you take care of yourself, okay? And we'll be in touch online. You know that.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
There he goes.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
See you,
Have a
Jeff.
good one. Take care, Jeff.
Bye.
Oh, man. You know, it's so nice to... what?
Just not to interrupt this with a little bit of news, but did you guys hear about the kidnapping?
No.
It's okay. He woke up.
How great would that be?
Hello, BZ.
Hello?
Well, maybe not. Maybe I was wrong. Okay. Oh, man. So, the kidnapping. You're an ass. You're an ass.
What?
Well, because I absolutely bought into that. 100% bought into that. I was like, whoa, what kidnapping? Where are we at right now? What's going on? And this shit happens. Hey, if the person calls us back, I'll bring them on because I know who it is, and I try to text him and set it up, but
You want to hear something weird?
Could have gotten it right. What?
Guest 666 and guest 4184 are still in the chat room.
What?
They're still here.
Well, damn it. That's pretty kick-ass. So, there is a lot of news to talk about, and we'll try to weasel a little bit in.
You know what's not being talked about anymore?
The shooting.
Yeah.
Gee, I can't figure out why that happened.
Isn't that weird?
Why they disappeared. No, it's not about politics or bias or, the background of that particular lady, because that wouldn't have anything to do with it. Because if she were, I don't know, let's say a Republican that had a conservative YouTube channel and was featured ads, let's say, on that YouTube channel where it said "Eat more beef."
Yeah,
and
ammunition.
Yeah, and I'm a Remington 870 sponsor. It would be treated the same.
Or, and I haven't seen it confirmed. Or if you're one of those people talking about the vegan bodybuilder Iranian woman who maybe went to YouTube and shot. I'm just saying.
Initially, it came out like it was some kind of domestic thing.
Yes, it did.
Yes,
It mentioned like that she was there for her boyfriend. I remember reading that.
Yes, I remember reading that also.
It was a luncheon.
Yes.
And that she was invited to.
But now it turns out it's just random.
She's just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Random, and I don't even know who Cocoa Puffs is.
It's not even random. So the story goes is I've seen a couple.
I meant
of her,
the victim selection.
Oh, the victim selection. Yes, it was a planned attack. She apparently stopped at a gun range prior to practice. She left San Diego a few days ago. Her father reported her missing, saying that she was probably going to go to YouTube because she was angry at them because her show or her YouTube channel was taken down, and even before it was taken down, the monetization was terrible, and she was blaming YouTube.
What was the YouTube channel?
It was, you know what?
Probably something really conservative.
Well, she's a vegan.
Oh,
so some of it was that. The only thing I can equate it to would be like if somebody was trying to do a female version of Borat onto a YouTube channel for comedy, only she was serious. Her website, I was on her website today just trying to find out a little bit more about this woman, was absolutely bizarre. She tries to sing songs, and she gets political sometimes. And
what were her political leanings?
A lot talking about free speech.
Her name was Nasim Agdam. She had previous addresses in Southern California, in Riverside,
yes,
and San Diego. I'm on a website, American of all places, AmericanMilitaryNews.com, and I got a picture of her, AmericanMilitaryNews.com, and there's some kind of Iranian writing.
Yep.
And she's on the left in a camouflage, I don't know, I guess you could call it a zip-type jumper. And my
You have one of those.
The look on her face is like, God, what is going on?
So in a lot of
with this chick,
in a lot of her videos, she's very angry.
She
But
looks
they don't
like her frown could kill you.
They don't make sense. Like, I was watching one of her music videos today. I think it was like anti-eating meat, but I couldn't even follow it. Like, you know how songs usually stick to a rhythm and rhyme sometimes? She was like intentionally mispronouncing words, trying to get them to rhyme with the previous words, and it was out of sync with the music. And
Okay.
I can't even begin to tell you. It looked like...
Are you saying, though, that her YouTube channel is still up?
No. People, as soon as it happened, as soon as people figured out, and I'm sure somebody in YouTube, like once they got the name, were like, hey, we got to download all this and send it to some people because this is going to get buried. But her website is still up, and her website still has all of her videos on it. And it was bizarre. I can't even begin to tell you, like, if you were going to look for somebody who is acting crazy, she would fit that profile. Absolutely fit that profile.
On this website that I'm looking at now, there's a poster, a placard that says YouTube dictatorship, hidden policy,
Yes.
promote stupidity,
Yes.
discrimination, suppression of truth. And then her name has changed, Nasim, Nasime, Sabz, SABZ.com. Careful with the BZ there, chickie. So she was really outspoken against YouTube, and
Enormously.
apparently they demonetized her channel. And if she's a flip cadet, then okay, I grok that concept.
Well, and from what I understand, they demonetized her channel because she broke some of the violations. A couple of her quote-unquote exercise videos, because she claimed to be a bodybuilder, were very suggestive, and she was wearing next to nothing, from what I was told. I haven't seen the particular videos.
I've seen softcore porn on YouTube that's still there.
I understand what you're saying, but it's a matter of getting flagged. You look at all the videos on YouTube, they eventually got to get around to it.
Okay, so she had porn, but they didn't like her porn.
Oh, exactly. I guess that's the way it was. But yeah, so
bad porn for you.
But the amazing part is, so you have this space cadet who shows up and does this, a horrific act. You walk into anyone's workplace and start shooting them. It's horrible. The news media flooded it within minutes. Local stations, the whole 9 yards. I got to give it to, and I don't give this man credit very often anymore, but Shepard Smith, because he actually reported on her description the fact that it was a female, and the headscarf when everybody else kept trying to say it was a male. And I saw a couple local news stations where even people who were being interviewed who said it was a female, afterwards the reporter or the anchor was referring to it as potentially a male suspect. So, and now, where's all the gun talk? Are we going to ban vegans? Because they're apparently a violent group. They kill people.
So goes against the meme, and that's... I'm done with journalists. I'm done with people
there are no journalists
that are
anymore.
attempting to try to approximate journalism because the bias is so fucking obvious now.
Yes.
It's so
Yep.
clear.
Yes.
And so many hundreds of thousands of people refuse to understand that there is no curiosity in journalism.
Nope.
There are no real journalists anymore that have that aren't doing anything except agendized, biased news. I'm curious if her website is still up. Nasim, Nasime, Sabz, SABZ.com. I'm curious if that's still up. So she's a vegan. She's an animal rights pacifist. Okay, stop. That's all you need right there. She's like a 4-fer or a 5-fer. Iranian, female, vegan, animal rights activist.
Yeah.
So, hey, there's at least a 4-fer. I'll think of a 5. If she's a lesbian and wears flannel and a biker wallet, there's a 5 right there, too.
Well, and let's find out where she votes. That could be 6.
Okay.
The simple fact of the matter is, when the shooting, and if you watch social media, all the liberals on Twitter and all these other ones all hit the same spot where it's like, hey.
They always do.
One guy said, I will eat my hat.
Is somebody calling in?
Yeah, it's a number I don't recognize, and I don't have it set up to go from Skype to the call-in via Skype. I'll take care of them after the break, too.
Okay.
But, I saw somebody on social media, I think it was Twitter, say, hey, I will eat my hat if this is not a white Christian conservative.
Are they eating their hat?
And immediately somebody responded, "Do you like mustard on your hats?" And rightfully so. But everybody was pushing that male narrative. At least a male. That's what the news was hoping for. At least the male to start.
And honestly, that's
misogynist.
That's
right?
very. This is unusual. This, quite frankly, is admittedly very unusual.
And it gets even more unusual that she turned the gun on herself, which is not a normal. This isn't a prejudice. Statistics. Females notoriously do not use firearms to commit suicide.
That's correct. Males do.
Males do. Females do not. And it has to do with the self-preservation type thing.
I've seen pills, razor blades.
Yep, a million other things.
In the bath, you name it. Right. I've seen it.
And I will say again, this was a disturbed individual that did a horrific act. Just like Parkland, just like all the other shootings.
Make sense out of this, okay? Here's in the About section of her YouTube channel, the former YouTube channel. How do you assemble this and try to process this in your brain housing group? Nasim, the Persian Azeri female vegan bodybuilder, also animal rights activist, promoting healthy and humane living.
And she was a notary.
Nasim produced and launched the first Persian TV commercial and music video, Do You Dare, regarding animal rights and veganism through international Iranian satellite television in 2010.
Sounds like a conservative.
What the fuck is that conglomeration of bullshit?
Sounds like a conservative, right?
I don't know.
And so because she apparently espouses things that satisfy leftists, once the first day blew past, then, okay, move on. Nothing to see here. There's nothing involved with her.
It is getting buried faster than a dog with a bone.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing all they can to make this go away because it doesn't meet the narrative.
Yeah, well, and this is where innocent people were gunned down.
Bingo.
By this freaking nut job.
But we can name,
and yet here in California, we hear about somebody who got shot by the Sacramento Police Department, which was justified.
Yes.
And the mayor even said we need changes regardless of legality.
Right.
Yeah,
which means he fucking knows it's justified.
And he's just trying to get reelected.
When you change anyway, we just need change.
Yes.
Because that'll keep me elected after all.
And so here you have a good shoot with cops involved that you're hearing about for weeks after the fact because nobody tells this crowd. Did you see the brother on the interviews and stuff? Nobody tells this crowd to shut the fuck up because you're fucking wrong.
Right.
And these are the laws we have in place. And yet innocent people get killed.
And it's fine.
And it's out of the news.
The article that I'm reading from doesn't even name the victims. They don't even deserve a name in here. The three victims, did you guys, by the way, know that there was a Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital?
No.
Mark Zuckerberg?
There is a Zuckerberg Facebook San Francisco General Hospital.
I had no idea.
No idea.
The three victims were transported to Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital, according to a spokesperson. A 36-year-old male patient is in critical condition, unnamed.
Yep.
A 32-year-old female victim is in serious condition, unnamed. And another female victim, 27, is in stable condition, unnamed.
Yeah, and yet that shithead who Sac PD ended up shooting, justifiably so, criminal.
Yeah.
What's the big chance? Say his name.
Right, over and over again.
You sent me the link.
I sent you the link.
So I watched. Did you watch? I played it last Tuesday.
Don Lemon?
Yeah. The interview with Don Lemon and that
next question.
That weird odd dude. Whatever the hell his name was.
That's his brother.
That's his brother.
And he has been consistently weird in everything.
High as a fucking kite on that interview.
He was high at the funeral. I watched the funeral. At one point, he got into an argument with somebody. He's been high at every single event. He was, during one of the protests that I was watching, he was riding somebody's shoulders, I kid you not, and hitting them giddy up to make them run faster. And Look, I'm going to hit the brakes for a second. I understand grieving. I understand the family grieving over the loss of a child. You may not agree with how it happened. You may not be happy, whatever. Maybe you fully understand it, right? Maybe you're one of those people like, hey, you know what? My son made his choices and it's horrible. I'm going to miss him. It's terrible. I grieve, but I don't blame anybody for his actions. Fine. That doesn't mean you're not going to grieve.
Right. Absolutely.
And in this situation, I am not trying to disparage a grieving family who lost a child. However, if you are that family, this is not the person that you want to be your role model or to be your spokesperson.
This is not the face you want.
This is exactly the face that they don't care. They don't care.
Right.
This is okay in their mind.
Right, and that's the problem.
And it's accepted by the fucking community.
And perfectly justified.
And the city council and the fucking police department.
Yes. It's being almost endorsed.
The Sacramento Police Department.
Oh, wait, it was by the Kings.
Yes, it was.
Sorry.
The Sacramento Kings, for those of you who are NBA fans.
I told the story on Tuesday.
Okay.
There was you might know more. There was a CHP officer in downtown Sacramento.
Wait, before you even go down that road.
Okay. Yeah.
The Sacramento Kings, in an effort, and Clint, I don't mean to cut you off, but
go ahead.
Tell me where I'm wrong.
Go.
In an effort to quell the crowds who kept blocking their games, has partnered with the local Black Lives Matter movement.
Paid them off
with a service called Bill Black that is going to try to enhance the black community.
Yep.
Did they do this out of the kindness of their hearts?
No.
No. Did they do this 2 years ago? No. They did it because this crowd has been blocking the entrance to the Kings, holding their games and their finances hostage. So then they decided to
negotiate with terrorists.
Thank you.
It's extortion. Yes. It's extortion.
Yes, it is.
It's as if you sent Guido the Gimp into the corner market and said, "That's a really nice plate glass window. I know a way that you can keep it."
Yes.
That's exactly what the fuck happened.
It is. And the Kings fucking bowed to him.
And the Kings said,
"You know what? The Kings,
Guido, we like you, dude."
The Kings bowed.
Yeah. And that's the hard part. That's the part that, as a citizen, it's hard to stomach.
Well, I want to get back to the police department because they have failed the community. They allowed these crowds to terrorize motorists, people trying to get home to their families, shutting down traffic at 5 o'clock, pulling people out of cars, throwing bottles,
that wasn't
being
covered.
violent.
That wasn't
of course
covered.
not. Of course not.
Did we see photos of it?
But
No.
the Sacramento
Video?
Police Department allowed that to happen.
Yep.
Allowed it to happen while their officers stood by over by the federal courthouse building and did nothing.
But
yet when there was a Sacramento Kings game, after they were paid off, they'll respond over there and go stand right because they give a shit about the finances of the Sacramento Kings and not about the people that are in the city.
And anyone who did intel or paid attention that night knew that night's protest, when they put the 130 officers in riot gear at the Kings Arena and said, "We will not allow that night's protest was already scheduled to take place in another part of the city at the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department. And was not even going to be close to downtown.
No,
it was a false show of force.
That was a show. That was a faux show.
Faux show, and that's all it is right now.
It was. This is why you watch us on Facebook and watch us on YouTube. This is what the City of Sacramento Police Department just did to the taxpayers of the City of Sacramento. They jerked them off.
Yeah. And they absolutely
we don't
did.
give one fuck about you, but we care about the Kings and the big money.
By the way, my hat's off to CHP and the Sacramento County Sheriffs, because when they brought their protest back around and they were going to march on the sheriff's station, there was about 60 to 80 cops lined up in riot gear with all their cars lined up, and you had like 6 or 7 guys maybe get like 30 feet closer and then kind of look around and realize the crowd wasn't with them, and then they just kind of like, I'm just going to shuffle back in here. I don't want any part of this. As it should be.
Yeah. The city of Sacramento makes me sick.
Yeah,
from the mayor,
police chief?
from the mayor who completely, even though he knows that's justified, he said so regardless of legality. He understands it's legal, he understands it's justified, and he's still pandering to this group. The police chief who has let his guys down.
Yes.
These guys went through a very traumatic incident. By the way, let his guys down. Who would want to be a cop in the city of Sacramento?
That's exactly what we were talking about at dinner.
Nobody.
I'd like
nobody.
I'd like to address that and some more aspects of this when we get back from the break.
And we do have a guest when we get back from the break, and it's a very important guest. It's somebody who has been on before and left their mark on the show, so we will absolutely have that guest after the break and more right here on the SackHeads Radio Show live on the SHR Media Network.
Doing the job the American maggots won't. BZ is fundamentally changing America one diaper at a time. Just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, where the speech is free, but the drinks are not. The bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night, commencing at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, where pushback is a requisite art form in and of itself. Let your ossicles be truly liberated when you listen to the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, only on SHR Media Network. No ferrets were harmed in the making of this ad.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through SHRmedia.com, HighPlainsTalkRadio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the unpleasant blind guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on BlogTalkRadio.com. There's no surrender ever, because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch River Common Sense Show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on SHRmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. SackHeads Shaun, SackHeads Clint, and SackHeads BZ. The SackHeads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on SHRmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk, the SackHeads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network. Go ahead, I'll say it.
Some of the best A-roll is going to be C-roll. Like, what are you talking about? You just, the last yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Good point. Exactly right.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and with Sackhead Shaun, Sackhead BZ, no communists allowed on the SHR Media Network.
Damn straight, mister.
Back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome back to the SackHeads Radio Show live on the SHR Media Network.
That's the last time you're going to say that for a while.
Yeah, I know. So I'm going to try something, and hopefully it works. And, yeah. Oh, here we go.
Whoa.
That just went magic time right there. That's how you know it's magic. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum.
Good evening.
Hello.
How you doing? It's a pleasure to be on the program this evening. Am I caller number 4?
Yes, you are.
Yes, sir.
So I'm the winner of the loaded gun.
Yes, you are.
And the reason you took... Thank you. I'd like to give you my address and number so that you might be able to call me and deliver.
The only thing we're going to need is a credit card number.
Yep.
Expiration date, last 3 on the back, mother's maiden name,
Social security number,
blood sample, semen sample. Never mind, not that one.
Yeah, not the blood.
Yeah, not the blood sample.
Well, I don't have a credit card number because I'm 20% Jew. I'm part of the cartel.
I don't even have it.
I don't understand you guys. First and foremost, Shaun, congratulations to you. You are the bestest. I love you, man, and congratulations. You've done a wonderful job. And I'm quite certain that it felt very good being voted off the island.
Now that's actually funny. That's actually funny.
It's funny because it's true. Like, how did he know that?
But congratulations to you. I wish you nothing but the greatest of successes.
Thank you.
You are just one of the greatest young men I've ever run into. And I only say that because you're older than I am.
Right. Look, the fact that you just called me young wins you so much more than the loaded gun.
You're getting a Christmas card.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I learned from Austin, Texas, don't shake it. Whatever you do, don't shake the letter.
If you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it.
That's right. And you don't want to play with that package.
This is true.
But Shaun, I am very, very proud of you. You have done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
It's always been great working with you.
Thank you.
But I need to talk about this because I need to put in a complaint for discrimination because every night that you were off, Clint, I called him 7 or 8 times and asked him, do you have someone to sit in for Clint? And he said, no, damn it. We don't allow your type here.
Whoa!
What I meant?
You know what?
What I meant was people from Washington D.C.
We know exactly what you meant. Blatant bigot. You didn't get that name for a reason. Look at Ken. I apologize for that.
And then Clint,
yes, sir.
Tonight I was the first caller. Clint, I was the first caller, and Shaun said, Ken, wait until the end of the show. We will call you at 1:05 a.m.
I said the back of the show. I said the back of the show.
Yeah, and the show has the nickname The Bus.
Yeah.
So,
so you made Ken wait in the back of the bus.
and on MLK's 50th anniversary too.
That's
Are you
even
kidding
worse.
me right now, Shaun?
I mean, power to the people already.
I'm sorry, Rose. Ken.
He had a white Southern Baptist come on before me. They had a Jew come on before me, and I'm in the back of the bus.
Hey, Ken, I want you to realize that SHR takes this very seriously, and this is why we took action.
Thanks, you just got me suspended.
Oh, wait, we got to vote on suspension. All suspensions have to be unanimous. Everybody raise your hand to vote for Shaun's suspension. You can't vote for yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Which means it can't be suspension. It's like a catch-22.
I was just trying to be fair. Of course, we are speaking with Ken McClinton, the Exceptional Conservative, theexceptionalconservativeshow.com, an old dear friend of the show, and of course he had a call to bust my balls one last time before I take my little hiatus. And Ken...
Hi.
Oh, God.
This is Rachel Dominic.
So,
I have been spending a lot of time trying to brush up on some things, and I just got back from Japan, and I love seeing Dan Butcher there for the penis event. Drink it, baby. Drink it.
I couldn't believe he came in 50th. That's just terrible.
Now, Ken, is it true? I read a news article, and it might have been Dan who wrote it, that said that you were part of a 3-to-1 ratio. It was 3 of their penises make up 1 of yours. Is that accurate?
No, actually, it's 3 blocks of their penises make up 1 of mine. Yeah.
and Ebonic kind of messes up. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what he's saying.
Is that called Japabonics?
I think it's a Bonanese.
A Bonanese or Japabonics? Like, I didn't know.
Of course, for anyone who doesn't know, back in our Blog Talk days, when we were doing our show live on Saturday nights,
oh man!
all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this crazy guy starts calling in every week.
Literally, I thought it was a crackhead.
Yeah, for the first
couple weeks, I literally thought that Ken was a crackhead and just like smoked out of his mind, just being nuts, and I loved it. It was hilarious.
What we didn't know is the first couple weeks he was on with us was pure shtick.
Yes.
We didn't realize that he was this amazing conservative mind that we would become friends with for years.
I think literally we just like, oh my God, this dude's smoking weed, surfing talk shows, and just happened to call in.
Yes, or crack.
Yes.
And I wrote down his number so I could answer it every week first because we would have so much fun with it. And what we didn't know is on the other side of the phone was this guy who was just playing along with everything.
Yes.
And
until we heard his show one time and we were like, who's this dude?
Yeah. And that's how it went back and forth. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, this is the same friggin' guy. Because I heard him do his shtick while he was on his show. And I'm like, son of a bitch, he got us. I've been bamboozled and hoodwinked.
Is this where the phrase, where do white women at, come from?
This is the phrase, well do white women at, does in fact come from.
Yes.
Hold on a second, because I'm not going to lie. That may be an option here shortly. Talk amongst yourselves, please. And then, of course, after we talk off the air and we started talking politics and real stuff, then Ken would start coming on the show and actually be the real Ken McClinton because he stood up.
Yeah, literally, we'd be on there. It'd be 9:59, and Ken would be like, "Hey, boy, where the white women at?" And then like it'd be over. The show would be over, and he'd be like, "So, did you gentlemen see what the president said this evening?"
Right.
And we're like, "Whoa."
Ken, is any part of this wrong?
None of it's wrong. In fact, my wife to this day thinks the greatest segment she's ever heard on your program is when you refer to me as some dude who needs to take his meds.
And I was not wrong either, by the way. Hold on. Wait.
You got it?
Correct. Got to get in there close and find out what's happening. There's our ticket.
Such a great movie.
Hey, boys. Look what I got here. Hey, where are the white women at?
Of course, that was from the amazing Blazing Saddles. And that was one of Ken's like first comments in the first show, I think, when he was still calling. Can I ask a couple questions?
Yes.
And we were like, like, what y'all doing? Like, we're doing a talk show. Why? I had no answer. We had no answer because we want to talk.
Because it's fun.
Okay. Hey, where are the white women at?
You guys are sincerely the most hilarious group. And when you started out with the immigrant illegally coming across the border and working on your, I'm not supposed to say that aloud.
Hey, we found him. He's ours.
Hey, you know what? He is obviously screwed up because Obama deported him.
Right.
I mean, if you notice, he hasn't been around for a while.
He voted Republican. That's how it happened.
The worst part is he's in Mexico and he's not even Mexican. They just didn't know where to put him.
Not the honor,
No, Armenian. Yeah, Mexican.
Yeah.
No.
Listen, I don't care about his arm, but he's clearly Mexican.
Right.
Our main what? But yeah, no, it all started from there, and of course, for the last 5 years, Ken's been a great friend of ours, and we've just enjoyed the banter. And you never knew which Ken was going to call in. That was my favorite part.
Yes.
Sometimes you get the intellectual Ken talking about numbers and budgets and this person and that person, politics, this, that, and the other thing.
Yep.
Sometimes you get spiritual Ken.
Yes.
And talking about morality and all these other
I
things.
call that Father Ken.
Father Ken. And then you get Lustful Dominique.
That's broken to you.
Yeah.
Broken.
Or Crack Ken. You'd get Crack
Or you
Ken
get Crack
occasionally,
Ken
too.
occasionally, too.
Sometimes you get Brother Ken.
Yes, we've had Brother Ken.
Kenny from the block.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when he did his Puerto Rican accent.
Yeah. Ken X.
Yeah. But it was always a joy and always a pleasure and a lot of fun. And he joined us for so many of our specials, so many of our shows.
Freedom Fest.
Of course, Freedom Fest. He was the reason we got into Freedom Fest, to be 100% honest.
Yep.
Hey, BZ.
Yo.
You took my job, man. You took my job.
He carries the bags now.
Carry their bags, man.
Don't laugh. I carried the bags for the Sackheads the first time I went to the Freedom Fest.
Yeah.
All of them. No. The second time I went to the Freedom Fest also, I carried your bags.
Well, no, all of them.
Yeah, that's true.
And you walked behind us like you were supposed to.
It's only appropriate.
We were signing autographs, and he would sit there. I mean, and you want to talk about somebody's face turning bright red after the strain. It was pretty impressive.
And here's the thing. I mean, at that point, we had to promote Ken because we couldn't walk into a libertarian conservative convention with the black guy carrying all our shit. I mean, that just wouldn't fly.
And I do have to bring up, and actually Danny Butcher pointed this out, our favorite Ken that would show up to the show. Which one was yours?
My favorite Ken?
Yeah.
Oh, Lustful Dominique. I loved Lustful Dominique.
BZ.
I used to be on Ken's show. I just like Ken in general.
My favorite was Narcolepsy Ken.
Now, okay.
I forgot about Narcolepsy Ken.
Because
usually he's in person.
I never heard Narcolepsy Ken.
Danny reminded me of this. Ken fell asleep with us on the phone one night.
That happened a couple times.
Yeah, and then in chat room.
Wait a minute. Who fell asleep?
Ken.
Oh yeah.
Fell asleep. Wait, no.
Hang on. Here's
really?
Here's a direct quote. This is a Ken quote.
Really, honest to God, fell asleep. He wasn't pulling your leg.
No. This is where put narcolepsy to bed came from. We used to say every single time, either on the phone or in chat, we knew Ken fell asleep. We'd be like, folks, it's time to put narcolepsy to bed. We want to talk to you about narcolepsy awareness. And that's where it came from. We'd close out the show at 10 o'clock, and Ken would be in chat, and I'd wake up the next morning, and Ken would still be in chat. And I knew he was still there. He was just asleep in the chair.
And the best part is occasionally he'd type something like he thought we were still on.
Yeah, he would just answer. He'd be like, Barack Obama. And I'd be like, whoa, easy, killer.
I remember we'd sit there and watch the screen with microwave popcorn and bourbon and just wait and see how long it would take him to, number one, snore.
Yep.
And number two, type something.
Snoring was the best.
And the over-under on the snoring, I think, was 4 minutes.
Yeah. And usually we were
under.
Yeah.
And the over-under for the typing something was 32 minutes.
Yep.
So.
And it was, I would laugh so hard because I'd be doing post-production stuff, and then eventually Ken would just disappear from chat, and I'm like, oh, Ken woke up. It'd be like 1 o'clock in the morning my time, so I knew it was like 4 a.m. some other time.
Yep. Wake up and go to bed.
Wake up and go to sleep.
Commercials, man. I'm here to do the commercials.
Yeah. Ken, sir, thank you so much. There is one more person that I want to get on the air before the end of the end of the show. But thank you, sir, for everything. Thank you for your support, your love, being with us, and of course, on your own ventures, the exceptionalconservativeshow.com and the TV show and everything you have going on. We're proud of you. We love you, and thank you, sir.
And Ken, please tell Mrs. Biggs we say hello.
We absolutely love and adore Mrs. Biggs.
No. Well, she's waiting still for you, Clint.
Well, why would she not? Ken, thank you, sir.
Thank you guys so much.
God bless y'all.
God bless.
All right, last one. And this guy, there's no way Ken can sleep anywhere. God, we were in Texas. Well, I'm getting the last phone call in. We were in Texas, and I can remember Ken sitting on the floor in the middle of the state convention, just randomly sitting down, and 8 seconds later, he was out cold. and it was the funniest damn thing in the world. We took pictures. I have pictures of it somewhere still. We would die in it how quick he could fall asleep. It was absolutely magic. And here is the last guest of the evening. We don't normally do guests. That's one of the things I wanted to say to Jeff is we don't normally do guests. BZ does guests, but we don't normally do guests. And so when he said, "Oh, you haven't invited us," that's why.
Yo.
Joe, you're on the air. Jersey Joe, of course, dear sweet friend of ours, just a great guy. Joe, I know you wanted to try to come in and say a couple words, and I definitely wanted to have you on, sir.
Yeah, I tried giving a call earlier when I was finishing up on my projects. It kind of caught me off guard with the news.
Yeah, well, you know, you always got to be ready to go, Joe. You know that.
Oh, I know.
How are you, sir?
I'm okay. I'm alive, kicking, screaming.
Well, and you know what? The kicking and screaming part's the important part, really.
Exactly.
Joe,
I'm busy working my garage.
I know, and you're producing some great products. We've talked about it. You know, I don't know how you get it in from South America, but damn it, you're doing a hell of a job with it. Have fun with the DEA tomorrow, pal. You're welcome, buddy.
So hopefully this is a short-lived hiatus for you guys.
Yes, and we hope so too. And like I said, nothing's going to change here. Nothing's going to change at the network. Everything's going to remain the same. It's just this spot that will go and change to Against Tyranny with Clint and BZ, and I'm still going to be doing a lot of the back of the house stuff. For those who don't know, Jersey Joe is a host for us for the longest time. He's taking his break right now. Dear friend of ours, off the air as well as on the air. A guy who I've talked to a bunch of times about a million different things personally, and a guy I think the world of, has a beautiful family, was great on his show for us and would step up all the time. One of the things I loved about Joe is I could call him at 1 in the afternoon and be like, "Hey, can you do X, Y, and Z for the network today?" And he'd be on it and never said no. So I wanted to have you on at least one last time before the hiatus and say thank you.
I appreciate it, and I did thank you guys. You gave me the shot, and, you know, especially when you told me that news, I felt really bad because I had to take my little leave to help and, you know, work.
Yep.
I mean, it's a good news, bad news. The woodworking that I'm doing is taking off.
Yeah.
And people are clearing for it, so
awesome.
That's taking time. I mean, tonight I'm working on a 3-foot diameter stump that I'm going to turn into a coffee table.
Damn.
Wow, that's awesome.
What?
So, it's got like a lot of bug holes in it and all that.
Sounds like Clint. That sounds like Clint's nose. Actually,
bug holes?
Oh, bug
or 2 foot by 3 foot.
Bung holes.
Bung holes.
Bung holes.
What?
Wait, what? I don't. What are you even talking about right now?
I can remember, and it's funny because I can remember we were looking for other people to come on the air. Joe was doing his own thing, and I found a copy of his show, and we listened to it for about 10 minutes. And I was like, I got to get this fucking guy on the air. Just being from the East Coast, it was like good to have somebody else who I could understand the language of.
And I remember saying, "What the hell are you talking about? I can't understand a fucking word this guy's saying."
And
I think the news got in the way because I couldn't understand Clint.
Yeah. None of us can, trust me. There are nights that I just don't get anything out of them. And that was 2.5 years ago. And Joe jumped on with us, and it was a pleasure to have him since.
Oh, longer.
Was it? It was longer now, isn't it? It's almost 3.5.
Yeah, it's been 2014.
Yeah. So
2014 election.
Yeah, that's right,
Joe. I knew that, but I deem you to be a very important part of the family, and obviously Shaun doesn't. So I'm going to apologize for that, sir.
Christ Almighty, help me! Please help me.
I know how Shaun is.
This is actually why I'm taking the hiatus. I have to go to like the funny place and get myself straightened out after dealing with Clint for all these years. So you're going to see
bigot and all around a-hole.
Yeah,
that's Shaun.
Well, it all started when I started signing my name, the blatant bigot, on things, and then they're like, "You may need to see someone." And so now I just sit wrapped in a funny coat, just being like, "Blatant bigot,
hugging
bigot.
yourself."
I'm the blatant bigot. I'm the blatant bigot. And they're like, "Oh, that poor guy. Who did that to him?" Like, Clint. And but seriously, Joe, we're going to wrap up because we have 5 minutes left. But I want to say thank you, sir, and it was a pleasure to hear from you, and we really appreciate you.
Well, I thank you guys for giving me the chance, and I will be back.
He's going to be back tomorrow night.
Yeah,
he's going to be on on my show tomorrow night.
I can remember to bring my cell phone into the garage with me while I do my work. So when you give me the text,
I'll send you a text.
Is that you call that work in the garage now, huh? With your cell phone, whatever. You have fun with it,
huh? Laptops have bigger screens.
I'm just saying, tablets are portable. Come on, Joe. We know about the midget broadcasting. All right, we'll talk to you later, buddy. Love you, Joe. See you. Bye.
Take care. Midget broadcasting.
You're welcome. Kill me. So next Wednesday will be Against Tyranny.
Against Tyranny. Right here on the SHR Media
Clint and
Network.
BZ taking off on their new venture together. It's like a buddy film that you've
It's
always
going to be
wanted to see.
It's going to be a shat show.
Yeah, standing next to each other, they look like the number 10. It's going to be amazing. It really is going to be awesome. Of course, BZ's back tomorrow night.
I certainly am.
With the Berserk Bobcat.
I certainly will be.
Right here at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 on the East Coast. Gentlemen, thank you. I know that this show was hijacked by me, and I don't give a shit, honestly.
Why should you?
It's your show.
It's been an honor and a privilege. I'm going to take this break. I can't wait to come back and talk to you guys as soon as I possibly can. I wish both of you Against Tyranny, amazing success. And if and when the time comes that maybe we'll move you guys to like a Monday night, and if I come back to where I rightfully belong, because I can do that.
No, you can't, because this is a partnership again, and if 2/3 of us are against tyranny and we're rocking it,
perfect. We'll go with the age. Oh, God damn it!
Would we let him petition?
Yeah, he'd have to petition,
but it would have to be the Sacramento mayor. That's how he would do it. Oh, no, you get him to sign off on it. We'll give you Wednesday night back, asshole. Have fun on your break, dick. Folks, thank you guys so much.
You realize you're going to get fucking random calls from us on Wednesday night,
I
right?
know.
Like just being a-holes.
I can't wait, honestly.
Oh, my God. That's a great story. Hang on. Let's call Shaun.
Yeah.
Hey, dickhead, what are you doing?
I look forward to every moment
And
of
by
it.
the way, Against Tyranny is going to continue in the SackHeads tradition of being an R-rated show.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That is a no-brainer.
Did that have to be said?
Yes, it did, because it's a new show. And so I think that absolutely had to be said. So BZ will continue to be PG-13.
Yeah,
right. Because I never curse.
And no PG-13 because
Never
you
happens.
do because that's why their 13 comes from PG-13. I will continue to be NC-17
X
ish. Yeah,
and maybe even
X,
double
maybe
X.
triple X.
Yeah,
I'll continue to be dirty, just filth. Like need a shower,
filthy
afterwards.
Fucking
Just
filthy,
dirty, filthy mouth whore that I am.
Well,
mouth whore?
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of stuff. I don't think I've heard.
Dude,
of
how do
mouth-
I say see you later to some of these people after that? Like, how do I do that? Like, the listeners, the audience, how am I supposed to come in with like, hey guys, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
No,
Like,
that's how we end it.
Mouth whore.
That's freaking Sackhead style right there.
I'm still back at turtle porn.
So, Shaun, how did you end your Sackheads before your hiatus? Before
Mouth
you kick
porn.
back up again? Mouth whore.
Mouth whore. Sorry, mouth whore.
Sean Hannity, that's it. Mouth whore.
Yeah. I love it. Hey, listen, I'm going to miss this more than you'll ever know. And I'm going to make as many appearances as I can. I'll try to work things out to come back whenever
Dude, we'll
I
give you a
possibly can.
15-minute segment every week. Call in.
I'm going to do all I can. Like I
And
said,
if you suck, we'll just dump the call.
yeah, why wouldn't you?
It's easy.
Behind the scenes, social media, all the other stuff, I'm still going to be very, very active.
Yes.
Helping out with our hosts and what I can there.
And you still will be known as Sackhead Shaun.
I will forever be known as Sackhead
I will still
Shaun.
be known as Sackhead Clint.
And Sackhead BZ, the youngest of the Sackheads.
The youngest of the Sackheads.
Thank you. I am.
Yep.
Will
I'm
forever
still a
be
neophyte.
He's still a boot. He will be until one of us dies and somebody else comes in behind him.
The greenhorn.
He's still the greenhorn.
He's
Hey,
the
greenhorn. Hey, greenhorn.
Hey, boot.
Hey, young fella, go get
He's
me coffee.
he's sitting in the front of the briefing room.
Yeah. Pull my luggage. Is that a euphemism? Pull my
No,
luggage?
no. I really want you to go get the fucking
Yeah,
luggage.
no.
Stop asking me questions. Boot. Folks.
Hurry up, wrap it up. We got some commercials to record. We're pressing on.
Get out of my chair.
Yeah.
Get out of my fucking chair.
Thank you guys so very much. Thank you to the listeners. Thank you, everyone. I'll talk to you soon. Tomorrow night, BZ. Next Wednesday, at Tyranny, against Tyranny, right here on the SHR
At
Media
Tyranny.
Network. Against
Stop
Tyranny.
trying to hose the show already.
Talk to you later.
The best late-night conservative talk show in America, SackHeads Radio. And listen, there are no people better on the air to give you the best in conservative talk than SackHeads Shaun and SackHead Clint. And we're working on the immigration papers for a certain other guy who happens to work here, too. But for those who are tuning in around the world to the best in late-night conservative talk, SackHeads Radio.
SackHeads Radio. SackHeads Radio.
The best late-night conservative talk show in America. In America.
And in this web was a large, I'm pretty sure it was the biggest spider I've ever seen.
Hell no, to the no, no.